From here, the conversation leans into cultural translation, the power of metaphor, identity, and emotional resonance in technology storytelling. Sam and I dive into how messaging lands differently across regions, values, and belief systems. It's not just what you say, it's how it's perceived, refracted through different social political lenses. This section reveals that even the best tech needs more than a data sheet. It needs a narrative action, something sticky enough to carry the weight of change. So what does thinking for yourself actually look like when you're consuming news or watching tech or looking at 300 tabs on your computer?
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think you do have to be, you don't want to be the person, right? You do have to be realistic, but you don't want to be the person who's looking through the window and there's this amazing sunset and you can't see it because you see the dots on the window. And sometimes I think if you're too realistic, then that's what you'll see. You see the dots on the window and you don't realize. And very, very often people are focusing, a lot of the critics, sometimes they're right and they might be right for a month, but they're generally not right in the long term. So people think they're a realist and they're looking at the news from a realist perspective. When I say the news, I mean the positive news in terms of EV developments and battery developments. A lot of people, like the naysayers, they think they're being realistic and sometimes it's relevant for a couple of months, but then all of a sudden they're actually wrong because really it's changing so fast. And I think you have to recognize that these technologies are, by the time I'm talking about it, the company is already working on the next generation. So these technologies are advancing so incredibly quickly that I think at this point, being cynical, it used to make sense because change happened much slower. But now that change and being realistic used to make more sense, but now that change is happening so fast, the truth is that any story could actually happen. And some of the battery stories that I share, people are like, oh, that's just another vaporware. That's never going to happen. Is that really true? I don't think that is anymore. Because often now people can actually scale things up much more easily. They can get investment. They can get, there's a lot of billions of dollars in investment seeking the next new battery technology. So really, sometimes people say that and I'm like, hang on, no. Actually, I used to think that about this, this, and this, but those things are working now. Those things are actually in cars now. Look at that. Yeah. So it's sort of probably, I'd say the best way to look at it is just to be an optimist and say, how can this work? Not why can it, why, you know, you can come up with 5 good reasons why something won't work. Anyone can do that, really.
And what's interesting is it's not a singular, you know, you really like solar. I really believe it's going to be a network of a bunch of different type of energies kind of coming together because of established hookups. There's these guys out at MIT, they've got this laser that they're blasting rock with, and they can blast rock so fast now that it makes sense for them to do geothermal power generation. And their idea is going into coal fire plants, blasting holes underneath coal fire plants to tap into geothermal